Ladies and gentlemen, it's Rocky here. You know, I'm with the camera a lot and trying to document every part of my business life. And from those moments, we get to pick up on things that sometimes very valuable for business. So I really recommend you watching the next video. I think this will benefit lots of you who are now doing business and social media, and will get plenty of insights. Look forward to see some comments and feedback. Good to meet you, man.
Great, mate. Good to meet you.
Yeah, so you've been saying you've been getting in Gary V's hashtags.
Yeah.
And saw me somewhere on social media, and we had like a chat. So what did you have in mind?
Not sure. I just wanted to connect. I just saw, like I said, you know, I went to Gary V. I've been following for a while. I've been trying to get more into Instagram, more connecting. Like, I'm not very good at networking. It's not really a big thing that I really enjoy, you know, going to network events and stuff like that.
Yes.
But obviously having the same outlook on things when you go to an event like that, and
yes.
to all the people there, obviously people who are, you know, keen to get started, keen to do stuff, keen to get out there. So I just wanted to get connected with some like-minded people, and
yes.
just see what people can, you know, what you can do together and how you can help each other, and just kind of build a little network. Everyone's always talking about networks and starting and, you know, meeting people that on the same wavelength. It's pretty cool.
It's good, yeah, to discover like that, you know, there's so many people, and some of them you know and don't know, and that they like that same thing, the same groups that you like, and it's quite, I agree, it's like good to connect. You've been telling earlier about your business that you've been in the fitness industry for around 15 years.
Yeah.
And you've been doing this for about 2 years or so?
Yeah, about 18 months. 18 months.
18 months.
This gym.
Can you share with me like what made you start the business, like your own?
Yeah, well, so being in the industry for a long time, seeing lots of different things come and go. One of the big things was I set up some small group training at my last gym that I was at, which I still do some work there now. But there's like, the small group just means if you come and train with a small group, one, the cost is cheaper, and two, it just means you're more likely to turn up, not just because you're seeing me, but because you're going to see other people and need that social environment. So that made a big difference. So when I started here, that's what I wanted. You know, I used to get a lot of personal training clients who come to the gym, see me once and not see me again until next week. And obviously you don't get any results unless you consistently do things. So that was one of the big things really. So here everyone pays a membership, but you can come and you get like basically group personal training. So it's all personalised to them, but they're in a small group, which means you get a bit of camaraderie, you get to have a chat with other people, you know, you get that social environment, and everyone here is after obviously working towards goals, highly motivated. So again, being in that sort of situation with like-minded people really helps.
And can they like come along and book, you know, the training session with the group as you do, and are they able to just come along and just say like, just train by themselves, and they say, hey Matt, I need help, and you know, can you help out? So how much are you available to people say, hey, I just need a quick help, can you just help me out here? Like, how much is available?
We do all our stuff's group training, so we do two different options. One small group, which is like group personal training, and the other side is boot camp, which is you know, a large group. Which is a large group. So both very different services, and we don't really do. I do a little tiny bit of one-on-one here. I do like maybe a couple of sessions here. But you know, you pay me $65 for doing a one-on-one session for half an hour, or you can come 3 times a week for $65.
Okay.
So obviously cost effective, it makes a big difference.
Yes.
I've got a few clients that I still train one-on-one, but only a few.
Yes, the boot camps are really. I tried it once. Like, you wake up at like, you have to show up at 6 a.m. and it was really fun. Like bunch of people lifting a bunch of stuff, and like I was getting like exhausted coming home. But then like throughout the day, you feel really like invigorated. Like really kind of like you're living your day actually. And I guess one of the things that you want to work out is actually to have that feeling, I guess.
That's it.
And I guess, you know, if you have another human being, as you mentioned, like, or other human beings who do it, you kind of feel in a circle and you're more keen to do it, right? What do you think? Like, I see actually your potential, and I see like your point of difference from other gyms. What in your opinion you think are your greatest strengths in your business?
Our biggest strengths, like, so part of the reason why I've started the gym, that was kind of stage one, is I want to be able to give people the service they need. A lot of people are scared to go into gyms. We're a private facility, so the only people that come here are the members. We're a small community. You come in, you've got a trainer here every session you go to, so you'd never be in the gym on your own. So you always know you're doing things right. Always know that we're always trying to progress. We've got like a motto of 1% better every day. Every time you come, whether it's one weight lifted more, like 1 kg lifted more, whether it's a little bit longer on a bike or an extra calorie burn, we're always looking to improve every time you come. So that's one of our biggest point of difference, is that when you come here, you're a person, you're not just a number. You don't just pay and then not come. And our model is, most gyms models is, you go pay and they don't want you to turn up, because if you turn up, you use the machines and then you're working the machines away. And that's what they don't want you to do. They don't want you to turn up. Whereas here, we're completely opposite. We want you to come and train. Our whole model is that we're here to coach you. And then the stage two is I want to improve the industry. So the industry at the minute is most trainers leave within about 3 months of finishing the qualifications. So after about 3 months, they leave. So our goal here is to have like a mentorship that we'll have running through the gym, and like an internship. So when trainers finish from the course, they come here and we can help them actually learn how to run a business, rather than go to a gym. And most gyms don't really look after the trainers, because they just pay rent and the contracted, and then same like a gym membership. I
can quite relate, because you obviously, like, you start a gym and there's a saying like, when you start a gym you're excited and you do your first week you go and you're all excited, and the second week you're just doing like 1 session a week, and then like the fourth week you're just paying the bill. Actually, you're just like recurring payment. And after a couple of weeks, like, oh my god, there's a bunch of payments coming out of my bank, like, but I didn't show up. So
you're basically in there usually for a year or two, and it's just, and then it becomes your charity. You're basically just donating to the gym. Every week.
Charity. That's the word I was looking for.
So that's our point of difference, really. We're a gym for non-gym people. That's kind of how I see it. Like, you come here, you might be a little bit self-conscious. You might come here, you might be a bit nervous. You might not want to go to a gym where you've got like a lot of people in there, and not much help. Usually there's, I know a few gyms, they have untrained staff on the books, and then generally you've got one member of staff to 30-40 people, maybe more in the gym, depending on how busy the gym is. Whereas for ourselves, we have a limit of 1 to 6 in our small group training, so there's only 6 people in the gym at that one time. Or you've got our boot camp, which is 1 to 15. So still such really small numbers compared to some of the others.
And I saw you are active on social media pretty much. One of the things we do in our company, we are actually trying to encourage businesses to go on social media, and you see their posts 6 months ago, and then there's no post or whatsoever on Facebook, and then I would go and say like, hey, the first thing we need to do, like, we need to like manage your post like consistently every week, and this is what you're paying us for, and we'll make sure like your branding goes along, because the repetition is reputation. And they said it a lot in the, even if you read the newspapers, like every time is a new, or if you're listening to the news on the, on way to somewhere in the radio or on TV, they always will have content coming up. So social media is something like where we get to choose what content we want to put out. So I saw you are really active on Facebook and Instagram. You're putting your posts. What do you find that works for you well thus far, and what do you think you want to improve more?
Consistency is probably one of the things that I go in and out of. I'll do a big push, and I might do 6 months of doing really well, and then something, for instance, like Christmas will come. And then you kind of get out of the daily videos or the content creation, and then all of a sudden you kind of it goes by the wayside till you start picking up again. Instagram's been really good at the minute. I'm really putting more focus on Instagram at the minute than anything else. Facebook is great. I use Facebook ads, do a lot of Facebook and try and do some Facebook marketing that way, which is great. But definitely Instagram's probably the one that I'm trying to push a little bit more, and it's the one I'm getting more leads from.
Yeah, so you want Instagram and you want to kind of get into more doing content in there?
I've started doing IGTV. I'm starting to film a few more videos for that.
Did you guys hear? He uses IGTV. It's the platform where you can actually put longer videos now, something about up to 10 minutes. And if you are doing videos of 1 minute on Instagram, now you can push videos of up to 10 minutes on IGTV. Just quite an interesting kind of lots of people saying that it's kind of like the new YouTube, but YouTube is still like so big, so it's still scary to move all your content just to IGTV, so you're better off being in both places.
I think it's hard to find. IGTV is quite hard to find.
And you cannot do search, but if you're in your profile, so you have to kind of link yourself into it.
That's you really got to use your stories. Like, quite a few people I follow, and that's kind of like, how you get into it is you kind of get them posts to stories or stories to posts, and then to IGTV. But I definitely think Instagram's out of all of them. It's where I spend most of my time.
Yes.
It's where I try and connect with most people. And on Facebook, I'm very rarely in my Facebook feed. I'm in Facebook groups. I see. But very rarely in my personal Facebook feed. And I imagine that's kind of similar to a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And
you think, do you think you have the time to manage your own profiles and doing your own marketing on social media by yourself? Like, for example, your Instagram and your own way, getting out with the dogs, or way with your family. You have kids, right?
No, just dogs. Dogs? Big kids.
Some people have kids, some people have dogs.
They're like our kids then.
You kind of have your family duties, and you're out there on your own time, and you find yourself that you're managing your social accounts
to a point.
The day?
Yeah, to a point. I think one of the big things is I use a scheduler. I use Later for Instagram.
Scheduler, yes.
Yeah, scheduling's key. Although it takes away some of your apparently it's meant to take away some of your reach. But scheduling. But I mean, I spent on Saturday night 4 hours doing probably about 4 hours doing all my Instagram posts for the week, and then doing all my Facebook posts for the week. So I'm quite lucky that I'm at the point where my partner knows what I do. She has her own work. She's very busy with her own work, so she doesn't mind. On a Saturday or Sunday, we'll block out 4 or 5 hours on the weekend.
Nice.
And spend that time working on what we need to do.
So you're kind of own content marketer already on social media. So you do it for yourself, which is a pretty good thing to do yourself. Like, if you have you actually have the knowledge, and you've done the research, and you're all into it. So that's. So I assume the part that you're looking at now is the content part for Instagram, which you'd like to.
I think for most people, I'm definitely someone who I always seem to go the long way around things. So I think maybe 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago, I was looking for someone else to do content for me.
Yes.
At that time, there wasn't no smaller company or no one that was really doing it. It was just, you're looking at a lot of money to pay people to spend posts.
Yes.
And I think in a service business, for some people, like myself, you kind of have to get your voice across and your word and being your style.
Yes.
Now I've learned a lot about it and spent a daft amount of hours learning things. And I've probably spent a lot of time. It's been not wasted. It's good because I can do it now.
Yes.
But I've also had my time again, and I could pay. My partner's company that she works for, they're just starting to do some more marketing and content marketing. And, and they're literally they need someone to do it for them, because they've either got to employ a whole new person for that role, or they've got to try and get and it's just too much for someone to do.
Yeah. Would you recommend that someone like you would go to a business where, you know, they're like you a couple years, 3 years ago, they're trying to figure out what's good, what's trending, what's not? Because now we're literally telling our voice, right? Like we can literally pick up Instagram, we can pick up Facebook, and like, hey, here is Matt, and you know, I literally follow you, and I like your stuff, and you know, a bunch of other people who follow me, and they look at what I follow, and then they're like, oh, that's Matt, and you kind of like telling you're kind of your own media agency actually, but because you figure out that trend 3 years ago that you can do that. And do you think you recommend for another business to go and hire someone with the skills?
I think
you know?
I think if someone's not done as much like reading, or generally most people haven't got the time like to do it,
to figure things out.
To figure things out. Like I've wasted a lot of money on Facebook ads that I've never worked. I've wasted a lot of money on like Instagram like courses. I spent money on courses for Instagram, and you know, a lot of things all boils down to getting it done. And a lot of the time when I first set up the gym, I didn't have time to do it, and really that's probably when I needed it the most, because that would have been, you know, the prime time to be showing my story of setting the gym up, which I did some daily vlogs and stuff.
Yes.
But if you, I think for a lot of people they need to outsource it, because it's such a vast space, and as soon as you go down the rabbit hole, it's like anything, you go down it, and then you've got all these different things to go down.
Yes.
Like your IGTV, YouTube, all your links, putting on your website, backlinks. You know, if you're going to do some marketing, you're doing content marketing, like content Facebook ads, and then you've got funnels and all this stuff that I've spent hours and hours learning, when really, you know, if I was clever about it at the start, I probably would have just paid someone.
So pay and save your time, so you can do your other business activities. Pay to a professional. That's really valuable knowledge. It's a practical knowledge. You've done that, and you literally understood that, and now you're transferring, you know, your knowledge to like the information to people like us who try to figure things out for their business nowadays. I had this insight in my head, you know, whenever I go to places and I come to you and I say, how can I bring the most value to you? What do you think will be the most valuable thing of us being here doing this talk?
Just to build relationships, you know, like I said, I've learned a lot about ads and things like that, but I'm still just scraping
the relationship.
I'm still just scraping the surface of what I need to do, and you know, having someone that I can speak to, but also having someone that, you know, I could you know, use the services as well, will help. You know, it's I think just, you know, building relationships. One of the things is starting conversations, building relationships, and you just never know. You know, you never know. Like you know, I've seen all your videos, I've seen what you've been doing. I'm the same, just trying to get my stuff out there.
Yes.
You know, trying to just, I think meeting people in the same situation can be very valuable, because there's people who are like, you know, starting here, there's people all the way up here, and you know, you kind of need to bring people together and connect and be able to help each other. You know, there's, you know, obviously coming into doing some stuff in the fitness industry is obviously another vast market, which, you know, Instagram's built for fitness. The fitness industry, you know, is massive in the fitness industry. Facebook, massive. So hopefully give you some exposure as well as myself as well. Yes,
and that exposure, when talking exposure, a long time ago, a couple of years ago, when I was also even working in the automotive industry, someone, you know, we're talking about haters and comments, and people who, like, you know, see a guy, you know, putting his stuff out there, getting success, getting attention, and then they like say, like, you know, hating comments. So this is really intriguing to discover here, like how would you deal with haters? You know, that you know, you say we're trying to get exposure for each other. In my opinion, I would say the exposure that I'm getting is actually allowing me the opportunity to show to more eyes, to more people out there, the truth. For example, where you're talking about the challenge that you want to achieve now, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, you want to solve that, and then you're saying you want to document your business and you want to do more videos. And I'm thinking about, yeah, that's amazing. When you document, we show that to others, and then they get to decide, and then they get to judge. But they see the truth, right? So whenever we get exposure, it's exposure for telling the truth. And the more truth we tell, the more exposure we get. And with that, we kind of get the opportunity to let you guys to see what's out there. And for example, doing the process, you're doing the process of, going out there, stretching out your comfort zones of, reaching out in more relationships, or, doing those group meetings, which maybe you're not used to, like those networking events. And the way you do that on a camera, I think it's gonna give more exposure to you and to the people that watch you. It's amazing to see, like you always see in the movies, they do that a lot, like a person who is on a challenge and he's challenged in this situation, but then when they're successful, and for example a bodybuilder, right, they start from nothing and they have a before and after photo, but all they see is just before and after photo, right? Where is all the stuff? Where is all your challenges? Where are your struggles, where you were like too shy to ask a girl out, or too shy to ask for help from a local instructor who has the body, right? Like you see these bodybuilders, and sometimes like I would be like, long time ago, scared to approach a guy who's with muscles, because like, oh, this guy is scary, like how he does that? I just need some advice. So don't have enough confidence. But if I could document back in the days that I didn't have the confidence to approach guys, like I literally DM people. I DM'd you and I asked like, hey, let's do something. I don't know what still at the moment, but back in the days I didn't have the guts like to ask people like, hey, let's do something. So I guess like the fact that you could bring up that kind of a story of how you get to where you are, how you're going to get where you want to go, it's what will give the exposure. And when you will achieve your goals, like you will feel so, I guess, different when you achieve it.
It's very what today, you got, when we opened the gym, actually, I will take it back to when we got our dog. My dog's 8 years old now.
Oh wow!
And back then, that first 2 years, we've got next to no photos. We've got a small amount of photos, but not much.
What are photos?
Photos. Like pictures.
Yes.
So we've got only a few pictures. We're going to do a few little videos. Whereas now, the last maybe 2-3 years, we've got so many videos, so many pictures of her.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that you're saying. It's hard to remember how she was when she was young.
Yes.
And same with the gym. I recorded everything we did when we were setting up. And even now, when I do like a throwback Thursday, I'll look back at those photos.
Nice.
And it's like,
and you get something.
Yeah, sometimes you have
your
daily struggles, and you look back and you're like, actually, you know what?
See the process.
This is pretty cool. This I've actually done like that. This is actually really cool. And I think that's something that daily videos and just documenting things, and kind of being as natural as possible, and just things that things that it's not always 100% perfect, which I was speaking with a client with, and she said she was looking at run times, and the run times on Instagram, a lot of people's run times are a lot faster than her. And I was like, well, they don't tell you about the times they ran really slow. No one ever puts no one puts the bad stuff. Instagram
is something which is quite scary, right? Everyone looks so perfect in the Instagram.
You put your finished product on there. You put your finish. If you look, if you're losing weight, you don't put the days where you feel bloated and you feel overweight. You put the days where you do really well.
Yes.
Or you look really lean, and you put your end product on. It's kind of like the best bits of your life you try and put on there.
And it's quite scary, right? Like people see you're so successful and then like, oh, how do I become that? And that's what Instagram is in one part, where people are, don't go to social media and be used by it, right? Just go and scroll forever, see people who are way fitter or way whatever you think better. It's kind of a mistake, because if you've been used by it, you're eventually not going to get to what you want to do, right?
Just puts you off.
It's pretty tricky.
It's a fine line. I think one of the things I try and do with the gym, Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that is show the members what the members are doing.
Yes.
And like personally, on a personal front as well, not every day is great.
Yes.
Some days you wake up and you don't want to get up. You don't want to get up. It's not, you won't wake up and feel like, yes, this is awesome. And some days, like, I had about 4 hours sleep last night, and you're just tired.
Yes.
But you still have to document those days, I think. And you still have to, I think, if you'll find the real people on Instagram, if we're telling you, like you said, the truth, and it's telling your real story, rather than showing just the bits that you want everyone else to see.
Yes.
People relate with you a lot more, I think.
Yes, and it's kind of like authentic content and real content versus curated content, right? Like lots of people nowadays put curated. They just take a photo which looks good and they just post heaps of posts. And what happens is all we have is just clones. We go to an account that looks exactly the same. Like, oh, this real estate. Oh, that's real estate. That's a model. That's the beach. That's the guy in front of a Lambo. That's the kid that in Gary Vee, I really like that one of his videos. He says like, oh, that kid spent all of his savings, to rent a Lamborghini and buy a briefcase of fake dollars and stuff, and he put it all over the car in order to put a post. Everybody would look, but that was actually before the all curation stuff. The copy paste things were available, and that's how they would do that. And nowadays it's quite easy to actually pick up on that. Like I call it like the bullshit sensor. Like people have this kind of sensor. Whatever you come and you try to show what you're doing or whatever you're doing in online, people can pick you up pick up on what you're doing by the post you do, so they can really engage if it's authentic, if it's real, and if it's fake or something that everybody else does. So authenticity is the key, right? Authenticity. Yeah,
definitely. Be yourself as much as possible, and tell your story, not the story you want everyone to, not the end story. Show your struggles, which is, I think, like Gary Vee's obviously one of the big people who everyone goes back to, but that's one of the things he says about him showing that the reason why he documents things is just so that he can look back and when he finally gets to his goal, everyone who didn't believe him, he can show how he got all the stuff that he did, and he can also show like his kids and his grandkids and all that sort of stuff, and it's just all there, which is pretty cool.
And one thing which I just want to kind of reiterate here, like even like they hate Gary Vee because he just don't give a damn about what everybody thinks, right? And that's how he goes with earphones all the time and he just do his thing, right? But in your opinion, how do you think a person should deal with haters? Like your own way to do your journey? And what do you think the best way to deal with like a comment or someone who likes this? It's mostly about comments, right? Because we're on social media. Nobody is gonna come to you face to face. Hey, I hate what you're doing. Oh, you're opening this business in the street. I hate your stuff. So it's mostly online. What do you think? How you should deal with them online?
It's funny. I had one yesterday, and I've only had maybe a few. But every time I get one now, I'm kind of like, oh, that's quite good. It means at least someone's bothered to actually put a comment.
At least someone put the time in.
Yeah, someone's put the time in to make a comment. So I then replied to the message politely, and then he replied something else back, and I was just like, I just kind of put like a laughing face, and I was like, okay, you're never going to change anyone's mind. If you see it all the time, especially Facebook, Instagram, doesn't matter whatever you put there, you're never going to be the right taste for everyone. There's billions of people in the world, and you don't always like everyone. It's like if you go into a room of 20 people, you're not be best friends with everyone.
Exactly.
You're going to end up coming down to a smaller group, and that will be generally a group that you kind of have the most things in common with. It's just, I think it's just the way it is. I think you just kind of have to ignore it, be happy that someone's bothered to actually put a comment about you, and just don't get into a back and forth. Just kind of accept that. Okay, that's a different that's a different point of view. It's a point of view that maybe you might not disagree with, but they've got the option to have that opinion. And on the flip side, on the other side is you've got all the other people who will either write nice comments, who will like the post, who watch your stories, all that sort of stuff. And a lot of the time they're the ones that don't put comments, the ones that enjoy your stuff.
Yeah, you just enjoy it.
You just enjoy it. Like I've got friends in the UK, and I went for a family wedding, and one of them was like, actually it's christening, sorry, and one of them was like, oh my son watches your stuff on Facebook, and I was like, I've never seen a comment, might have seen a like or something, but people watch it, but don't always, like a restaurant or something, you don't always put a good review, but people are quite happy to go and put a bad review if you have a bad experience.
Yes.